Alright, so for this video, I want to also give my opinion on the upcoming Xenomorph changes. And for those who may or may not be curious, because I doubt anybody really cares about my opinion on anything else, but I'm just going to give it anyway. Vending actions, good. Legion, I don't know enough to give my opinion on. Same with good guy. Tear radius adjustments are good. Surrender option, good. Stop with the double pallets, please, because this is like a no-no. And then survival and killer perks, I don't know, because I didn't read over them, and I frankly will just read over them anyway after this video and just be like, cool. Anyway, with that being said, now let's talk about the Xenomorph changes, because I think they shouldn't go through, at least changes 7 and 8. I am making this video even though many other people such as Bran and other Xenomorph mains have already made their opinions known that these changes can't go through, or at least changes 7 and 8. I think the more voices that are expressing themselves about these changes, the better. That way behavior can hear us out and hopefully maybe revert some of these changes. But other than those bottom two changes, I like the other changes for the most part, such as the increased tail attack charge time to 0.35 seconds, and it was 0.2. Gives survivors more time to react to the tail attack before it hits them. On top of that, we also have the increased tail charge sound volume for survivors, and I've gone against Xenomorph a few times, can barely hear that, and combining that with the increased amount of time to give you time to react is also awesome. Love to see it. Reduces missed attack cooldown time to 2.5 seconds, was 3 seconds. I need to slow down, by the way, because it's just messing me up. But this is also a good change, because for the longest time, I feel like when I miss my power, even though I missed my tail attack, I should be punished. But it kind of feels like I'm being overly punished for it. So decreasing the amount of time I'm in cooldown for a missed tail attack is good. Though originally I would say when they had the original cooldown movement speed at 4 meters a second, that was a bit too forgiving. I would have decreased it to like 3 meters, because right now it's at 2, and 2 seems very punishing. So 3 meters was what I had in mind. But if you decrease the cooldown time by half a second, that would also be great. So next up, we have increased the killer instinct range when exiting a tunnel to 16 meters, was 12. This is a change I don't really mind too much, because honestly, in my eyes, when a survivor's literally like 16 meters away, I'm less inclined to want to chase them because they're further away. But if there's somebody who's closer, or if there's nobody else to chase in that area, I guess I will go for them, but it's just going to make it a slightly longer chase because they are an extra 4 meters away. But again, I do not mind this change. Decrease the time it takes to get out of the tunnel. Even when I slow down, I can't say it right. My gosh, maybe I'm just too tired right now. Anyway, decrease the time it takes to get out of a tunnel to 1.5 seconds, was 2.25 seconds. So they almost decreased this by an entire second. Again, I don't mind this change. I had no issues with the time it took for me to get out of the tunnel anyway. But if they want to make it faster, that is fine by me. But again, I don't really mind this change. There was no complaints with me on this one. Increased amount of fire needed to burn the Xenomorph crawler mode to 175, was 100. Now this is a change I greatly appreciate, because about 1 or 2 months ago I ran out of emergency helmet, which was my favorite add-on because it gave me more time to hit the turret and break it. And since then, I guess I can't seem to get the muscle memory to hit the turret correctly. So there is a like 50% chance I'm going to not hit it in time and just get knocked out of my power. Kind of feels like I don't have enough time to hit the turret, but this feels like it's giving me more time to hit the turret. And yeah, I'm all for that change. Some survivors might not be into that, but I feel like this is a reasonable change, because even still, survivors are getting a chance to get away when the Xenomorph goes to hit the turret and either chases the survivor or gives the survivor even more time to run away when they go for the generator that happens to be right next to the turret that they just broke. Next up, we have the two changes I honestly have some stuff to say about because, boy, I don't like them at all. Anyway, increase delay before the Xenomorph's heat starts to dissipate to 15 seconds. Right now, it is 1 second. How did we take a 180 to 15 seconds? It would make more sense if we start with 5 seconds. Now, my best example for this I can give is imagine you're playing a poker game and you decide to go all in with all the chips in your stash. Now you have no chips because it's all in the middle of the table. That's kind of what it feels like the devs are doing with Xenomorph. Not trying to be rude or anything, but I'm just trying to give an example. Now, honestly, I would say the best move would be to put a couple chips into the circle. So that way we see if it works out, and if it works out, maybe go all in before everybody decides to show their cards to see who won. With this, we just need to start with 5 seconds if we're going to go with this change, but it'd be better if we just don't go with this change because it doesn't really feel like it's a good change at all. So, but if it has to be done, can we just take the 1 out of this? Just remove the 1. Just have it say 5 seconds and just see how that goes before we go do that 180 with 15 seconds. Let's do a 45-degree angle first, okay? Instead of the 180, 45-degree angle. And same example, same premise for the next change. The next change decreases the Xenomorph's heat dissipation rate to 2 a second, and it was 25. Which is another big blow. Feels like we're going all in with those chips instead of putting a little bit at a time. I would say instead of going with this change, we should just start with like 15. But the best option would be decrease it by 5 and go with 20. Just to see how that goes. Like dip our tippy toes into the water to see if it's warm or cold. We just go with 20 instead of 25 just to see how it goes, because I feel like going with 2, you're literally just removing the 5 out of that number and just going with 2. It seems like it's a bit too much is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, this is gonna feel bad, like especially if there happens to be a turret right next to this one generator, for instance. There's, I don't know if this is a great example. Let's just say I hit a turret that put me at like 90% before it knocked me out of my power. I broke it, I damaged the generator, then I go to the next generator that's like 20 meters away, has the turret as well. Originally, I would have been at like 1% heat dissipation or whatever, but since there's a 15-second timer and only like 10 seconds passed, I'm now knocked out of my power, and it feels bad. Because, for one, it took me 10 seconds to get over to that other generator, and I was at 90% before getting knocked out of my power, because that bar was just like, ooh, it was like a little salt pinch before it would have knocked me out because I was just that close. And now I have to wait 15 seconds for it to start going down. And when it starts going down, it's not going to go down at 25 a second. It's going to go down at 2 a second, which is pretty bad. Pretty bad. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say about these changes. And yeah, but some of these but if I had to give my feedback, I'd honestly say the more important changes is don't worry about these changes. I'd probably say nerf the turret. So like if I'm in a tunnel underneath a turret, it won't beep at all because it shouldn't. It doesn't really make sense for a turret to just start beeping, letting the survivor know I'm nearby when I'm under a like in a tunnel. But I guess that also wouldn't be too fair, but you know, it is what it is. That is basically all I gotta say for my thoughts and opinions on the Xenomorph change. If I said anything that sounds ridiculous, or if you guys agree with my changes, just let me know down in the comments down below. Greatly appreciated. And again, I'm making this video because I want to also throw my opinion into the ring, because the more opinions out there about this change, the better. Maybe behavior will change their mind and not do these changes, because honestly, it could actually ruin this killer extremely. And only the most dedicated Xenomorph players, such as myself and a few others, will continue playing this killer until the other end. And yeah, that's about all I gotta say. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And once again, if you guys have anything you want to say, negative or positive, but especially negative, please keep it down in the comments. Do not go harass me or anybody else who feels this way, because it's just their opinion. This has been Demo Jackson. I'm walking out of this video like, hee hee. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Ow!